Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 as Communist France. In our last episode we won our war against Iraq finally, so we've secured our oil supply, at least for the time being, though we're actually almost using all of it already, so this may not have been worth the effort, but I suppose having some oil is better than having none. We'll maybe start researching the synthetic factories, or we can just start trading for it. We do have a decent number of civilian factories at this point, I think, so we could probably afford to do that. But we have transitioned mostly over into producing military factories and forts here, which is okay. We haven't actually gotten involved in any wars with anyone else in Europe yet, though things are starting to escalate a bit. Germany has declared on Poland and are conducting an invasion, but the UK is also conducting a naval invasion of Germany up here, though it remains to be seen how successful that is going to be. We can't see much information about the battles or anything. We've unlocked formation fighting. Okay, so more of our air doctrines. So air support mission efficiency, an additional 20%. On top of our other 20% seems probably pretty good. Alright, I think Italy has pulled some forces away from the border down here? No. Now we're suddenly much weaker compared to Italy's forces. Doesn't seem right. Seems to have been jumping around a bit. Doesn't look like they have a huge number of troops there, but oh well. We're looking pretty strong compared to Germany's forces here. I'm kind of hoping, though, that we can avoid getting involved in any wars with anybody, at least for maybe a year or so we can continue to ramp up our production, build up our military forces, and then maybe when the Axis and allies are weakened from fighting each other, we can jump in opportunistically and grab some nice stuff for ourselves, like, I don't know, maybe the northern half of Italy or part of Germany. That would be nice. So our next focus is going to be probably to join the Comintern, become allies with the Soviet Union. So I guess if they get involved in a war with Germany, which is possible, they could drag us in with them. That's okay, they currently have the non-aggression pact, but that may not necessarily last. And after we've done that, I guess we'll continue up the defensive focus here when we'll also get these fortification. Actually, we should have waited to build the forts until we got this fortification focus. That would have made a lot of sense. Oh well, it's fine. Let's continue building the ones we're building. We can always build more later. And now we are below our required amount of oil. So let's see if we can trade for some, I suppose. Well, the Soviet Union certainly has some. Oh wait, this is chromium. Never mind. Oil. We can trade with the Soviets for that as well. So I guess we will. We should be able to stay on good terms with them. I think we can just get the amount that we need by clicking this, and there we go. So this takes up the use of one of our civilian factories, but 1 out of 87 is not a big deal. Let's add you to this army, and in fact, since we are ramping up production of our various stuff here, we can probably continue or increase our recruiting and deployment efforts as well. So maybe we'll just add 1 additional infantry to be produced in parallel here. And we're not producing any motorized divisions, so we'll add maybe 2 of these to be trained too. You guys could just appear over here, and I clicked the wrong thing. Never remember if it's right click or left click to do that, but it's left click if you're wondering. Right, it seems like Germany is shuffling around some troops on the border here. I'm not sure if they're pulling troops away to help out with their wars or whether they're maybe planning an attack. They seem to have just hugely jumped up in strength here, which is very worrying. Oh, now they're suddenly showing as very weak here. Yeah, I'm not sure. Something seems to be going up with these comparison bars. They're not entirely accurate, but that's okay. No, it seems we're okay here. For now, at least. Remember as well that we do have level 10 forts in these provinces. Which gives us... well, gives an attack penalty for them attacking us. Minus 15% for each fort level, so minus 150%. Seems like a lot. So we have Recon Company 2, which is good. I don't think we need to edit anything in our division designer, since it just automatically improves the Recon Company bonus. There isn't like a different one we were supposed to select there. So that's good. We may as well get the next level of Engineer Company as well, I think. So that will increase the entrenchment bonus. Alright, so with that done, in our focus, I would like to get army reform as quickly as possible, but I think we should go for join Comintern. I mean, I don't think Germany is going to attack us anytime soon, what with the other stuff they're involved in right now, but it would be nice if they did, for us to be able to call in a strong ally over there. And I guess Italy hasn't even joined the Axis yet, so I mean, maybe don't have to worry about them so much. You look at the factions map mode, it is just Germany. And I guess Poland has its faction as well. Nobody has joined the Allies even. Okay, we have Mounted Infantry 2. So we could start researching Marines and Paratroopers, but I don't know if those are going to be too useful to us. A little ahead of time on Support Weapons 3. We could get, I guess, Field Hospitals, Signal Company, something like that. Or we could start researching medium tanks. Actually, we have a bonus to heavy tank research, so maybe let's do that instead. This is from our focus that we just completed, I think, actually. Yeah. Alternatively, I mean, we could save that bonus and spend it later on one of the later models. But it's going to be a long time before we can actually research these. I think we may as well use it now. Just assign the newly built troops to this reserve army that we have here. Alright, Italy maybe does have us at a disadvantage down here if they decide to attack us. But we should be able to reinforce down here quickly enough if they do, so I'm not too concerned about it. Though perhaps I should be. We might want to maybe train more mountain troops, Alpine divisions, though maybe that's okay. People's Republic of China has capitulated. The Chinese government has gone into exile and their main forces have capitulated to Japan, who has now control of their home area. The struggles in the People's Republic of China was only a small part of this conflict. The war between Japan and what remains of the Chinese United Front continues elsewhere. Uncertain times. So let's see how things are going over here. So they're still at war with China and China. China and the People's Republic of China. I guess this is the People's Republic of China, this small remaining sliver in there. Alright, so we're going to end up with a border with Japan over here. Probably. Which may be problematic if Japan joins the Axis, which is likely, and if we end up fighting the Axis at some point, which is also likely. We're probably going to want to redeploy some troops over to this part of the world. We'll hold off on doing it for now, though. Okay, so infantry equipment 2. I think we'll probably go ahead and get support weapons 3, even though we're a little bit ahead of time there. And we probably want to just immediately change over our production line to producing the new weapons. So it's going to drop our... I think it's only by 50% it's going to drop our production efficiency, since it's the higher level of the same type. That seems to be exactly the case. And it's probably worthwhile adding a second production line for this. We'll start that one off fairly slow for the moment, but we have a lot of weapons we need to upgrade, so we need to get these built as soon as possible. And possibly we should consider even ramping up our recruitment even further. Now, I think we'll wait until we have the heavy tanks, and then we can maybe add a second type of armor division with a mix of heavy and light tanks or something, and queue that up as well. Or maybe okay for the moment. We don't want to exhaust our manpower or anything by recruiting too many troops too fast. Well, let's keep an eye on what's going on with Poland. It looks like they have advanced almost to the capital. Though the invasion from the UK doesn't seem to be going anywhere much. I'm not sure what Poland's national unity is like, whether it's pretty high, so they may not fall immediately when the capital falls, but we'll see. It's worth 20 victory points. 10 up here, 10. Yeah, there's probably going to be enough elsewhere that they'll be able to hold out for a while longer. But they are potentially attacking from 4 sides. Well, there it goes, I was just going to say. Alright, the fall of Warsaw. German forces advancing in Poland have succeeded in capturing Warsaw. Sporadic fighting continues in Praga and a few other districts, but organized resistance in the city seems to have ceased. The Polish government reportedly evacuated the city as the first German units entered Warsaw's suburbs, and their present location is unknown. Fighting against the German invaders continues in other parts of the country, but the loss of the capital is a serious blow to the Polish war efforts. Poland did not stand a chance. So the capital is now in Danzig, which is, I think, what Germany declared war on Poland over. So they'll definitely be trying to take that. Take Danzig from Poland, yeah. So they are actually in 2 separate wars. The one on Poland, and they were already involved in the one on the United Kingdom, which I thought had ended when they annexed Czechoslovakia, but apparently the UK had joined that, and it still continues. Even though Czechoslovakia obviously has been annexed. And this is why the UK is still conducting their invasion, so they're not actually involved in the Polish war. It would be nice if we could see more of what was going on around there, but I guess we can't. Okay, now this seems like a lot of Italian troops over here now, which I don't appreciate. Can modify our government though, so we've gone up to extensive conscription. We don't need to advance that any further for the time being. We're doing okay for manpower. I think it might be worth getting some of the research and production advisors at this point. Probably the industrial concern, lower industrial research time, though we're not actually doing any industry research right now, I think, since we were ahead of time. Well, we're doing excavation 3. Yeah, it's going to be a year before we're able to do any more of this, so that probably is not what we want. And that's all we have available there, so let's see. Nuclear research time or air doctrine research time? I think it might be worth getting the land doctrine research time reduction, so we're not using this yet. But we are going to soon. Once we have joined Comintern, which is almost done, we're going to get army reform, which will allow us to really get land doctrine ramped up pretty quickly, so I think that's going to be useful for that. So obviously we're not making use of him immediately, but we will. Alright, we're starting to get a lot more military factories available. I think we'll just continue to assign more to infantry equipment for now. Since we have a lot of upgrade needs to fulfill. It's going to take us a while to do that. And the strength gauge here is really fluctuating on the Italian border, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. But Japan has declared war on the United States. Okay. Well, things are really starting to get going here, I guess. So they were already in their war on China and the People's Republic of China. They're trying to take Hawaii from the United States as well. Okay. Well, we have completed Join Comintern. So what this actually gives us is an event for the Soviet Union about joining that, so we'll get their response. They should let us join. And immediately we'll start going for army reform, I suppose, and then we'll go down the fortification line here. So we'll do this so we can get started on land doctrines ASAP. And hopefully get some of those done. France is welcomed into the Comintern, following the shift towards communism not only among the French people but also in the French halls of power. The French Commune politically announced its desire to become a part of the Comintern. Soviet Union responded instantly, indicating the weeks of negotiations that must have been going on outside of the public view. Joseph Stalin spoke at length about how the people of the world must work together to bring about revolution in all countries. Maurice Thorez agreed and threatened in no uncertain terms those who have reason to fear the Comintern, united towards the world revolution. So let's have a look at our factions map mode. Just us and the Soviets now, of course, but with any luck, Spain might join at some point. I'm not sure what other communist nations there are, but that might be it. We could be spending some of our political power to try and influence some of our neighbors to become communist, but I'm not sure we're really going to be able to do that. And in fact, if we were doing it, we probably should have been doing it for a while. If anyone is significantly communist already, maybe it would be worth trying, but I don't think so. Yugoslavia is pretty communist. How about up here in Scandinavia, Finland. Not really. Okay. It's fine. So, this is good. If we do get attacked by the Germans, we can call in the Soviets to help us out. Well, I think we can. They do still have their non-aggression pact. I think. No, they only have the non-aggression pact with Spain now. Alright. So that's good. We will be able to call them in against Germany. Alternatively, though, they may call us into some of their wars. If they start any. That could be okay. They are justifying war goals against Poland, in fact. So that's good to know. Just to conquer 2 states there, I guess. Down here, I see. Alright, well that's fine. We have finished research of our heavy tanks. So, I actually don't know if it's really worth producing these, since this is a 1934 tank model, and it is 1939, almost 1940. It might just be better to wait and not produce any until we have a more up-to-date model. Yeah, that seems probably correct. Okay, so we will want to get Land Doctrine pretty soon. So I think we can save up our research progress for 30 days? Yeah. So if it's going to be less than 30 days until we get our focus, which it is not, it would be maybe worth saving the progress. So since it's not, we'll look at something else then. Very slightly ahead of time on improved infantry equipment. This only gives a bonus to cavalry and motorized infantry, which is not hugely significant right now, I think. We're already getting this. Maybe we'll just get logistics company level 2. And this is probably going to be finished too early for us to save up the production in this slot, the research in this slot. But I guess maybe Hunt and Destroy will... They're now justifying against Latvia. We'll finish it around the right time. Alright, they have declared war on Poland. World tension, incidentally, now at 100%, so... There is, I think, almost no restriction on what democracies are allowed to do at this point. Where does it say here? They can generate war goals, they can join factions, you can do all of the other stuff. Okay, so we'll see what happens. Call to arms request from the Soviet Union. We are being asked to help them fight Poland, Lithuania, Estonia, and Latvia, which I guess I'll accept. Though, I have to imagine that they can handle these states pretty easily by themselves. They are all currently at war with Germany as well, so they're most likely pretty busy. We have air wings with no missions. Well, I guess we should probably assign them to missions. Though I don't expect we're going to be getting bombed or anything. We need to actually select these. We'll just have you continue to do close air support. If you're in our home territory, you won't be doing any tactical bombing anyway. Fighters will have on interception, or at least some of them on interception. This means they'll prioritize bombers, whereas air superiority means they'll prioritize fighters, I think. Alright, who else has no missions? Alright, so we should be able to maintain air superiority. I guess we have to have them doing the actual air superiority mission for us to get air superiority, which makes a lot of sense, so we'll do that. Alright, and we actually have free civilian factories, so we've cranked through our queue of military factories. I think we'll probably just keep building military factories. Let me see, we probably should wait on fortification focus before building more forts. Hopefully we'll have time to do so. Let's maybe look at some other infrastructure though. We should probably build radar stations and maybe anti-air. So this is to gain intel on enemy troops in nearby states, so I guess this means we want to build it in border regions. We'll queue up a couple in Alsace and Savoy. And anti-air, I think we want to mostly concentrate in our industrial regions to make sure that they stay safe. I think you can still be bombed even if you have air superiority, so having anti-air helps out. In fact, we already have 3 levels in Ile-de-France, so let's go up to max level there. And there for now. Alright, we'll just leave it at that for the moment. And we have excavation 3. Let's just check on our resource situation. We're still doing okay for oil. We are trading for 8 units of oil, I think, with the Soviets, which is fine. Alright, so we can save up for 30 days. It's going to be more than 30 days until our focus is finished, so we'll just queue up something else to research. Still ahead of time on our construction techs. Engineering, we are only very slightly ahead of time in improved computing machines, so I think we should get this. Improve our research speed. I mean, if we did need to help out against Poland or any of these other people, how would we even do so effectively? I think we'd probably have to just prepare a naval invasion, which takes a long time to do, and in fact, I think we can only do that with 10 divisions right now, if I remember correctly. There is a tech in naval here. Yeah, we need to get transports, which we are slightly ahead of time on. We could probably get that at some point. So naval invasion capacity plus 10 currently. Alright, well, we probably won't prepare any naval invasions unless it really looks like the Soviets need help, but I can't imagine they will. We can at least keep an eye on these battles, though. We're about out of time for this episode, though, so I guess we'll leave it here for now and see how things go in the next one. Thanks for watching, and join me again then.